My mom found my secret pregnancy test in the trash, and I had 30 seconds to decide whether to lie or blow up our entire family. I was 19, still living at home, and my mom was the kind of woman who alphabetized the spice rack and teared up during church announcements. I'd taken the test that morning, positive. I wrapped it in 3 layers of tissue and buried it at the very bottom of the bathroom trash, like evidence. I forgot pickup was Tuesday, and she emptied the bathroom bin the night before. I came downstairs, and she was already sitting at the kitchen table, and the test was in front of her, unwrapped, sitting right there next to her coffee mug like a centerpiece. She didn't look up. Sit down, Delia. I sat. My legs didn't feel like mine. Is this yours? I opened my mouth. I had the lie loaded and ready, that it belonged to a friend who couldn't risk her own parents finding it. But before I could get a word out, my little sister Sophie walked in, 14 years old, braces, holding a bowl of cereal, and she saw the test on the table and stopped dead. And my mom saw her stop. My mom's face changed slowly, the color draining out of it like someone had pulled a plug. She looked at Sophie, then at me, then back at Sophie. Sophie, she said, in a voice I had never heard from her before, low and very careful. Honey, is this yours? Sophie didn't answer. She just started crying, silent and shaking, the cereal bowl trembling in her hands. And I couldn't breathe because the test was mine. But Sophie was falling apart like it was hers, and my mom was watching her whole youngest child come undone in real time. Mom, I started. Wait. She didn't even look at me. Sophie, talk to me, right now. You're not in trouble. Sophie set the bowl down with both hands, sank onto the kitchen tile, put her face in her hands, and said the words that stopped my heart. He told me he loved me. My mom went very still. Who did, baby? Who said that to you? Sophie was sobbing now, the kind where you can't catch air. Mr. Prescott. Mr. Prescott was her history teacher. He was 34 years old. The kitchen went so silent I could hear the refrigerator hum. And I want to be careful here about what this story is, because for one horrible second I thought it was about a test. And it wasn't. It was about a grown man who had spent months making my 14-year-old sister believe a lie. And it was about a mother finding out 2 seconds before I did and deciding instantly what she was going to do about it. My mom didn't yell. She didn't crumble. She got down on the floor, wrapped both arms around Sophie, and said over and over, "This is not your fault. Do you hear me? None of this is your fault. You did nothing wrong." And then she looked up at me, and there was a question in her eyes. "Did you know?" And I shook my head, and I meant it. She helped Sophie up, sat her at the table with a glass of water, and kept one hand flat on my sister's back the entire time, like she was holding her to the earth. Then she picked up her phone. She didn't call my dad. She didn't call a friend to talk it through. She dialed 3 numbers. "I need to report a teacher. My daughter is 14. She stayed calm and exact. The address, the school, the name, while keeping her other arm around Sophie the whole time. And here's the part I keep thinking about. The test on the table was mine, and I still hadn't said so, because in that moment, it genuinely did not matter. My thing could wait. And my mom clearly knew it could wait, because she'd read the whole room in a heartbeat and gone straight to the child who needed protecting. When the call ended, Sophie looked at me through her tears and whispered 4 words. "The test isn't mine." "I know," I whispered back. "It's mine, and it can wait. Right now, we take care of you." My mom pulled us both in. Mr. Prescott's worst day was just beginning, and it was going to be handled by people whose entire job is protecting kids like my sister, detectives, and counselors, and a school that had a lot to answer for. Over the next weeks, there were interviews, and a case, and a lot of careful adults making sure Sophie understood, again and again, that none of it was on her. And somewhere in all of that, quietly, my mom sat down with me too, and we talked about my test, and my situation, without a single raised voice, because she'd apparently decided that this was a family that handled hard news by circling the wagons instead of throwing anyone to the wolves. Mine turned out to be the smallest problem in that kitchen, and for once, that was exactly how my mother treated it. She got both her daughters through the worst morning of our lives, and she did it by knowing, instantly, which one was standing closest to the edge.